Welcome to the Wrestling Over Everything, everybody. We're a very funny wrestling podcast out of Central Valley of California. I'm Andrew. That's Dusty.
Hey.
Follow us on all the stuff. Subscribe to our YouTube. Hit the bell. Leave some comments. Subscribe on your favorite podcast app. We've also got TikTok, Blue Sky, Instagram. And give us a little kiss. You know what I mean?
Yeah, a digital wave, a digital hello is all I'm asking for.
Also a literal physical kiss. Find Dusty.
Why do pirates not know the alphabet? They always get stuck at C.
Oh, C. Fuck.
Oh, he got you, dude.
I've gotten, you know how many times I've gotten got by that swerve? Because I got a buddy who always says, what is a pirate's favorite letter? And you're like, R. He's like, no, 'tis the C. And you're like, fuck you, you piece of shit. So anyway,
kill you.
Last week we covered what was possibly the biggest pants shitting in the history of professional wrestling, Starrcade 1997. And because of that, Dusty decided to do the maybe second biggest pants shitting in the history of WCW, the literal next Starrcade, Starrcade 1998. Certain aspects of this really burnt my beans, Dusty. I didn't know this involved a certain thing of doom, and when I saw it start to almost happen, I went, no, this isn't what they did this with, is it? So
yeah, they had just changed their pants.
Yeah,
and they had fresh, brand new pants, and when you know it, once a year, just filled with dookie.
They put their pants on the line, went to Chipotle in different pants.
Got a second burrito.
Yeah, it came home, ate the burrito, put previous pants on in an act of hubris not seen in a long time. Went ahead and shit those pants again.
Went ahead and did it again. Not since Icarus.
Yeah.
Has there been so much hubris. We are talking, of course, about the rise and fall, if you will, of one Bill Goldberg in WCW.
As Mean Gene says, Bill Goldberg.
Yeah. As I will refer to him various points in this episode, William Billiam Goldberg.
Yeah. William Billiam Goldberg.
Was born December 27th, 1966 in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Bill will tell you that he was born to play football. He had two older brothers who played football. All he wanted to do in his life was play football. Luckily, he was able to make that happen. Goldberg played college football at Georgia from as a defensive end, I believe. 4-year starter, made the All-SEC team one time. He played from 1987 to 1989. In 1990, he was drafted in the 11th round as the 301st overall pick to the Los Angeles Rams. There's William Billiam in his football uniform. Look, we'll get to it, but if you want to go ahead and give the stamp of approval, you go ahead.
This is a big fucker. But the other thing is, think about this, Dusty. We just watched about 2 hours of William Billiam Goldberg. I'm not going to do that the whole episode. Wrestling and being maybe the second most athletic person we've ever seen in terms of a big fucker in the history of wrestling. Because I think Brock still, he did a shooting star press. You know what I mean?
Right.
But 300 guys got drafted in front of him.
Yeah, and he he wasn't like a scrub. He played for Division I football. And started, he's a monster.
And that's the thing when people I made a joke one time that was like, if we sent all of our best athletes to soccer, we would just take over the world in soccer. If we just convinced a bunch of free safeties that made D1 to go play soccer for 5 years, we'd win the World Cup. It's kind of hyperbole, but you know what I mean. We got some super athletes that don't touch the soccer pitch. And people get mad when you say that. Bill Goldberg was drafted 301st
Yeah.
in the NFL.
So he was on the Rams on the practice squad. So even that, think
Didn't
about
even
the,
make the team.
He's not even good enough fresh out of college to make the real squad for an NFL team. From 1990 to 91, he ends up going to the Atlanta Falcons.
every single time. Guys,
Yep.
that's a Simpsons joke. Denver Broncos.
The Denver Broncos. Where he does start one game.
Hell yeah,
but
dude.
he made it to the show, dude. He was in the show. And then he got released from the Falcons and was in the Carolina Panthers, like the expansion draft when the Panthers became a team in '95. He got drafted by them, but he was playing football and tore his lower abdomen off of his pelvis, which I have to tell you I do not recommend.
That seems like that would hurt so goddamn bad.
Dude,
I'd like to hear him talk about that.
Just shoot me on the field when that happens, dude. Like that. Not that I would even make it.
I think I tore my abdomen right off of my pelvis.
And as you'll know in the letter I sent to my attorney, just kill me now. It's fine. This is a justified shooting. I've written it down. If I ever specifically tear my abdomen straight the fuck off of my pelvis, that's a wrap for me, dog.
I don't want you to try to gauge the amount of pain I'm in by the fact that I'm not screaming. I just realized that I need my abdomen to scream. My diaphragm is not prepared.
I believe that it's supposed to be attached. I'm no doctor.
Yeah.
William Billiam did not go to medical school, but I will tell you one thing. I think this is supposed to be attached to my pelvis.
Hold on. I'm going to try to scream. Give me a second. Hold on. No, I can't do it. I can't do it at all. Completely off my pelvis.
I got to tell you, Doc, hurts real goddamn bad.
Yeah.
That's what I'm going to tell you.
Oh boy, Doc.
So he
nice Surge shirt, by the way. I just realized.
Thank you. That's because it's 1998. I went ahead and manifested my 14-year-old self drinking Surge, watching Goldberg. So he wanted to go back to the league after rehab, but turns out it's really hard to rehab your abdomen being torn entirely off of your pelvis.
And as Wikipedia says, the NFL was quote unquote a mixed emotional experience for him. Yeah, I mean, It was really good except for I tore my abdomen off of my fucking pelvis.
And I had to play for the Carolina Panthers in 1995. So like once he's not doing football, he's like, fuck, what else am I gonna do? And he's like, all I wanted to do was go and lift weights. And he used to work out at Main Event Fitness in Atlanta, which I believe was Sting and Lex Luger's gym that they opened. It was either Sting and Lex Luger's gym or it was Ric Flair's gym.
Okay.
In Atlanta. And a lot of the wrestlers worked out there. So like he had known Buff Bagwell and Sting and Luger, but none of those guys tried to help break him into the business. His entree into professional wrestling came from meeting our guy, certified wrestling over everything guy, Diamond Dallas Page, at a strip club. Yeah.
Fuck yeah, dude. That's where all the best wrestling deals are done. That's where Vince McMahon took a doomsday device, and that's where Bill Goldberg got introduced to professional wrestling.
All the best backroom deals happening at Scores in Atlanta or whatever, you know.
They were doing blow. And DDP was like, oh yeah, dude, I can get you a job.
Eric Bischoff is right here.
Yeah.
I'll actually and then I guess at the time Bill had like a really luscious head of hair from his football days. This is before he shaved it. And so DDP's like, this guy looks like $1 million. He looks like a monster and he's got this hair. Why wouldn't he do wrestling? Yeah. So he calls up WCW and they're like, cool, go to the power plant. The power plant was the WCW training school back whenever you couldn't really get into wrestling schools. Like it wasn't as publicly advertised. But in the Atlanta area, you could go to the power plant, which was ran by Jody Hamilton, the assassin, and
Hell
this
yeah,
guy
dude.
named Sergeant Buddy Lee Parker. And Buddy Lee Parker's whole thing was he ran it like a Marine, like a Marine test, basically. He would just make dudes run laps and do hack squats and do push-ups and just days and days in this giant
Fucking cat, dude.
Your cat is upset about the training methods of the WCW power plant.
There's
a fly in here.
No, there's a cat outside that he's in love with.
Oh.
Bro.
He's trying to see his lady, dude.
Sorry, dude. That scared the shit out
that's
of
all
me.
right. I thought you were thinking about having to do 500 Hindu squats
No.
in a day.
That wouldn't be good for my abdomen or my pelvis.
Yeah. So essentially, he would like run these dudes ragged, and every day, guys would just drop out. There'd be 20 guys to start. Then the next day there's 10. Then the next day there's 8. Then it breaks. And like after a week, he would start to actually be like, okay, I can start to show you some stuff, just to weed out guys that they didn't want in the business, because this is still kind of an old school like mentality for wrestling.
It's like going through buds.
Yeah, you just
I went through buds, and then it prepared me for life in the Baja.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, the 500 hack squats was nothing. You have to like I had to eat 10,000 frogs to prove I was a frog man.
What they would do is they would surgically remove your abdomen before you even got there.
If you didn't tear your abdomen off of your pelvis, you didn't live, brother.
Yeah, you didn't make it to round 2 of Budge training.
Yeah, so like they do the Hell Week. Goldberg survives. He's at the power plant in 96, basically learning. And so whenever they're going to call him up, he wanted to be the hybrid. And I don't know if it was like the hybrid Bill Goldberg or just his wrestling name was the hybrid. Because he was trying to do like, and we'll see in some of these matches, like he was trying to work some early MMA into his wrestling stuff.
Yeah.
So his thing was like, I'm a shoot fighter, but I'm also a wrestler, so I'm a hybrid. And WCW was like, we don't think that name's very good. In fact, that name is so bad that Bill Goldberg is better than that.
Yeah.
If we just call you your regular name, that's better than the hybrid. And so they did not, unfortunately, go with the hybrid.
Yeah, I don't think you're making that. You know, that was Brendan Schaub's original nickname in MMA, the hybrid.
Oh, before he became, what's his, Thick Boy or
Big
whatever
Brown.
his thing is. Oh, okay.
He went from the hybrid to Big Brown, and now he tried to make Thick Boy happen, but Thick Boy never really happened.
Stop trying to make fetch happen.
Yeah.
What was the name of his comedy special?
Gringo Poppy.
Yeah, the Gringo Poppy.
Yeah. Dicey.
Dicey, dude. I've heard that fajitas joke about 20 times. A lot of different guys having takes on fajitas. A lot of
dudes, and my dad.
Yeah, having takes on how hot the plate is.
Yeah.
You see, the plate is so hot that it's funny.
And then when everybody's hearing the sizzle, and now you become the center of attention in the Chili's.
Yeah. That's it's not just the artichoke dip that you get from the Chili's. You get the sizzling fajitas for sure. Okay, so that sort of runs us up to this idea of how Goldberg got into WCW. So we watched a selection of Goldberg's matches in his first run in the company, including his debut match on September 22nd of 1997 against one of Andrew's favorite guys, the Laughing Man, Hugh Morris.
I want everybody to know on record, Dusty is being facetious when saying
I'm being Hugh Morris.
Is it? Well, listen.
You see.
Yeah, the Hugh Morris sucks. I hate the fucking name so much. He could be the best guy of all time, and I would hate him.
He's,
just because he thought it was clever is my thing.
I don't think that it's him. I think he was given the name Hugh Morris.
I would fucking quit. I'd quit. Yeah. I'd go fucking I'd go work at fucking Kohl's.
Yeah, you'd work at the Chili's instead of be Hugh Morris. I think this is a good opponent for Goldberg going in, because I think they had that Bill DeMont, who is Hugh Morris, was basically his like practice match opponent in the power plant. And so this is like a good way to introduce him to make him look good.
Let me ask you a quick question, Dusty.
Yeah, go ahead.
Do you think this guy right here had the artistic integrity to be like, no, Hugh Morris, dude, that's lame? Or do you think that guy probably thought the name Hugh Morris was a good name?
I think that guy wanted to make $150,000 downside guarantee, probably, and was like, "Go ahead and call me Hugh Morris if you want."
Listen, I completely understand what you're saying. I think he would have said yes to a lot of things because of that downside guarantee, and I completely agree with you, Dusty. But once again, do you think this guy right here thought that Hugh Morris was a good idea or a bad idea?
He was probably like, I can make this work. What I'll do is I'll start putting rubber bands on my very tiny goatee.
Yeah. Because it's funny.
You wait till this goatee. This is going to pay dividends in the future when I'm the United States heavyweight champion, which Hugh Morris eventually was.
Yeah.
He was. Goldberg's already in the ring, and the announcers are like, we don't know who Goldberg is. And Mike Tenay, who is the encyclopedia of wrestling, is like, look, I pride myself on knowing who every guy is. I know stuff about Super Calo. I know Cyclopade's social security number. I don't know anything about Bill Goldberg. This guy might have just climbed over the guardrail to get in the ring.
Yeah, they might as well have been like, we're here to watch Hugh Morris versus some douchebag. Like, let's get this over with real quick.
Some fucking guy.
Yeah.
Immediately Goldberg goes for like a knee bar. He goes for a rolling knee bar on Hugh Morris, which is part of that sort of hybrid idea, I think, which is he wants to be kind of legit. But there are no knee bars in WCW wrestling in 1997. They kind of go back and forth. Hugh Morris does hit his moonsault, which is his finish, and Goldberg kicks out, which is a pretty big deal for a literal nobody. And then Goldberg throws Hugh Morris into the corner. Morris elbows him. Goldberg takes a bump. Goldberg gets up and then does a backflip for no reason at all. Like,
he's a hybrid.
That could have been a cool intro or like entry into a spear eventually, but he cuts the backflip out of all of his future matches, and just for this one, just to show he could do it.
Yeah, he probably he had a few more miles on him as the years went by. He's like, listen, I got to save my bullets. You know what I mean? Yeah.
And then he hits the jackhammer, which is unnamed at this point, to pick up the win against Hugh Morris. And Tony Schiavone does have a pretty good call out of this. It's 1, 2, 3, and then they all sell the shock. And Tony Schiavone is like, out of obscurity comes Bill Goldberg on Nitro to get this win. And then Mean Gene wants to interview him, and Goldberg blows him off.
I can't believe this nobody has defeated the Titan that is Hugh Morris.
Look, Hugh Morris is at least lower middle card. It's incredible that this man from nowhere has defeated him. He was in the Dungeon of Doom.
This Bill Goldberg character has scaled the medium-sized mountain.
If this is his true accomplishment in all of life, he can say, I once defeated Hugh Morris, named pro wrestler on WCW Monday Nitro.
Yeah, he can hang his hat on that. He defeated Hugh Morris, and there's nothing funny about that. Back to you, Mean Gene.
Back to you, Gene. So then the next week he beats the Barbarian, which is even... like the Barbarian was big in WWE in the 80s. So that's a little more credibility towards Goldberg. And then the next match we watched was on the 10/27 edition of Monday Nitro, just because I had to give a little bit to Andrew. We do have Andrew's legitimate guy, television champion Disco Inferno.
This is my guy, and I just because of his podcast. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding.
All of his opinions, Andrew's into him.
I just think the gimmick's funny as hell. I think a guy coming out and disco dancing for no reason and then getting his ass kicked is hilarious, and being a shithead chicken shit heel. It's great.
This is the night after he could not defeat Jacqueline at Halloween Havoc 1997. Yeah. But before the match could start, Alex Wright comes out to attack Disco, but attacks Goldberg, and Goldberg very quickly is like, two bad dancers I cannot abide. So he jackhammers Alex Wright, and then he starts beating the shit out of Disco when Steve Mongo McMichael comes out to attack Goldberg.
God rest his soul.
God rest his soul. A guy of this podcast, even though he is one of the worst wrestlers in history. We do love Mongo, even though I don't know that I've ever seen him do anything good on camera. The funny thing is, because Mongo's a big guy too. Yeah, but Mongo played pro football. He won a Super Bowl.
What I was gonna say is, if you stand Mongo and Bill Goldberg next to each other, and we're like, hey, which one of these guys is a better football player?
Yeah,
most people are probably gonna pick William Billiam Goldberg.
To 9 times out of 10. Sarah was watching some of this with me, and she just kept going, look at his shoulders. Like, his shoulders look like there's a little guy on top of his regular shoulders.
Oh yeah, and I remember as a kid, I didn't watch WCW. I knew of wrestling. I knew Hulk Hogan. I knew Stone Cold. I knew all that stuff. But I would see Bill Goldberg like tangentially. I don't know if he was on commercials or something. I don't know. But I would just see him every once in a while, and just the traps, man. That's what I remember as a kid, is like the biggest traps I've ever seen in my life before I even knew what traps were. Like, this man is look at this freaking guy. Like, I first of all, I don't want to throw accusations around.
Sure,
Bill Goldberg very likely took steroids, in my opinion, allegedly, right? Because, like, first of all, and I wouldn't blame him. He tore his abdomen off of his pelvis. Like, I would take steroids too, you know?
Yeah.
But I mean, look at those traps. Steroids wouldn't give me those traps.
No, I mean, like, dude, the bicep vein in this picture, like, he's insane looking. And this is part of what we'll get to as we go on. But, like, yeah, from the moment you see him, you're like, okay, that guy's a guy. He doesn't look like a jabroni at all.
He looks like whatever happened to Captain America happened to Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Yeah, he got the super serum.
They gave Steve Austin the super serum, and this guy popped out.
and the bicep and the shoulder tattoo just spontaneously grew onto his shoulder when he got the sperm.
That's the mark that the super serum gives you, is a tribal tattoo on your left deltoid.
A late 90s tribal tattoo. So then, well, we watched another Disco Inferno match just because I wanted to give our guy Disco his propers, because the previous match ended in DQ. So this was on WCW Saturday Night. So essentially, when Goldberg debuted, they had him wrestle every show that they had, just beating the shit out of guys.
Yeah.
Like, killing guys. There's
Go ahead. Sorry.
There's a compilation on the WWE YouTube that's just all of Goldberg's wins during the streak, and I watched that. It's like it's like 52 minutes long, and it's just him crushing dudes for an hour. It's very entertaining. It's like the best version of all of Goldberg's stuff. I mean, it's because I wanted to get some stats, but like
what I want to say is, this is like the Sting thing, in which, cool idea. Bring a guy out that's a monster. Everybody can just visually see that he's a monster. He doesn't have to prove that he's a monster. He doesn't talk at first. He's just super athletic, crazy explosive. He can get guys with their backs on the mat from like a bunch of crazy, weird, different angles. It's unbelievably cool at this point.
Yes. And like, he's just like, this is a proven way, even now, in modern wrestling, to get a guy over. You just smash a guy over who looks legit, and that guy will get over to a certain degree. Baron Corbin was super over at one point because he would just do squash matches. Ryback got super over by just crushing dudes in a short amount of time. Like all these Goldberg matches are like 2 minutes long. So Disco comes out and he cuts a promo saying he knows everybody here is just here to see the Disco Inferno dance, which is true for Andrew. If it were just Disco dancing, he would have been just as happy.
Why else would you come? You know what I mean?
Yeah. This time Goldberg comes out and he still doesn't have any of the like accoutrement that he would later get. He just comes out regular. He doesn't even have the music yet, but he tries to do another flying knee bar, but he fucks that up and just kind of falls to the mat, and it looks bad, but luckily it's WCW Saturday night, so who cares?
Plus guys like Bill Goldberg, when stuff like that goes wrong, that looks cool, because it's like they were almost too athletic for their own good. They tried some crazy shit, you know?
Yeah, and he's like a big raw-boned motherfucker. Like, his stuff looks more legit because it is less smooth. But you're like, well, whenever he runs and spears that guy, that definitely hurts.
Oh, yeah.
Like, that looks like it would kill me if he did that to me. And so he does what Andrew said. Like, he could do so much stuff because he's so goddamn strong. Like, he gorilla presses Disco above his head and then drops him onto his shoulder into a slam, which looks awesome, and then hits him with a spear and then jackhammers him for the win. And the crowd is completely satisfied with this being what they get to see of Goldberg. The one really funny thing in this match is that I think Glenn Gilberti might have been the early adopter of low calf kicks. He might have watched Randy Couture versus Vitor Belfort and learned that leg kicks can really take it out of you.
He was the early cerebral assassin. He outthought you in the ring out there, and he was an innovator. He tried a lot of different things. I heard he was the first guy to have goldfish in his platform shoes. So he was a trailblazer, if he was anything.
Yeah.
You know?
We could say, if nothing else, he was a trailblazer.
Has there ever been a tougher Glenn?
I mean, I guess you would say Glenn Jacobs, who's Kane. Yeah.
All right, there has been one. Okay.
Yeah. What about Glenn Campbell?
Does John Glenn count?
He did go to space, and he punched that guy who told him he didn't go to space.
He went to space. I believe that was Buzz Aldrin that punched a guy.
Oh,
but,
okay.
John Glenn still went to space, though. And I think he was like a military fighter pilot or some shit. So.
Yeah, if you're an astronaut, you're probably a pretty tough motherfucker.
It's close.
Yeah.
But I think John Glenn's probably tougher than the Disco Inferno. He shot down 3 MiG-15s and was awarded 6 Distinguished Flying Crosses and 18 air medals in the Korean War.
Tough for Disco to match it. Tough for Disco's television title to compare to John Glenn's military record.
It's close, but I gotta edge it to John Glenn.
He edges him out merely because he shot down those planes. Otherwise, it's neck and neck.
He was in World War II at 21 years old, shooting down fucking planes.
Meanwhile, back on pretend fighting
that we watched. So sick.
So Goldberg's just doing this. He's just beating the dog shit out of dudes every week for months.
Yeah.
And then the next thing we watched is kind of the first bump in the road. He's getting over. I don't know when the plan takes over. He's kind of getting over accidentally because he comes out and all of his stuff is high impact and he just keeps winning and he looks like $1 million. Like, they're smart to keep that going. Whoever's idea this was, I think Kevin Sullivan. So it's kind of a patchwork because Kevin Sullivan was the booker and he's the guy who was like, I told him never to cut promos. We keep him mysterious. We keep him a monster. And then Mike Tenay was the guy who came up with the idea of the streak, of starting to count the wins as a way to like push because if he doesn't talk, you need a way to start selling these matches that he's having.
Yeah.
You know, and so the streak is a way for the commentators to talk on behalf of Goldberg.
And they inflated the number, right?
They did, but like
the number would jump.
To it, yeah, when we get to it, it's not nearly as much as like Nash says, because later, if you'll believe it, Nash is kind of a shithead about it. But like, it's not crazy. It's not like he did. It's not like they said he won 173 matches and he only had 60 or something like that. You know?
Yeah.
But on the the February 9th edition of Monday Nitro, he goes out for a match with Lord Steven Regal. And I don't think that you've ever seen this match. They have Goldberg with music and pyro now. So they're starting to add to the presentation because they realize, I think, that they got something with this guy. You've never seen this match, so I'm curious what your thoughts were watching it.
Love Steven Regal.
Yeah.
It was cool to see, because this was like the beginning of them trying to figure out well, not the beginning probably, but the beginning in the ones that we watched at least, of them trying to like make it look like he's struggling or like find some adversity for Goldberg, you know? So like guys that like are different technical matches for him and stuff like that, you know? And it was cool. He does a really good roll through to leg lock in this one that I really enjoyed. I thought this was cool because their styles are so different. I mean, Steven/William Regal is one of my favorite wrestlers ever because he can work a lot of different styles, but nobody would accuse him of being the most athletic guy in the room at any given time. You know what I mean? So
his outfit, his wrestling gear for this match is not flattering to William Regal's body type at all. So there was a lot of talk at the time, and has been a lot of talk since then, that Regal took advantage of Goldberg, that he went out there and kind of made him look like an idiot who didn't know how to wrestle. Like at the time, I remember there being some hubbub about like he went out there and shot on Goldberg, which would be very stupid because Goldberg's strong as fuck. Yeah. So even though William Regal knows all the tricks in the book, I don't know that you'd want to make a dude that looks like Goldberg upset by shooting on him. But basically, there are a couple of miscommunications in this match that happen because Regal and Goldberg just can't get on the same page. And Regal does like a few different like uppercuts and palm strike attacks, but I listened to an interview with Regal today where he was like, they told me to go out there and do a 6-minute match. Goldberg has never done a 6-minute match, and he froze and he didn't know what to do. And so I can't punch myself and I can't put myself in holds. So I'm trying to work around the fact that this guy is very green and doesn't know the sort of connective tissue of wrestling. But like, you watched it and it didn't seem odd to you, and my wife watched it and she said it just looked like a more competitive, real wrestling match. You know, if you don't know the backstory or the story that came out after, it doesn't look crazy like he's taking advantage of Goldberg. But it was like the first chink in the armor.
There's a couple of little like awkward spots and stuff like that, but like I said, like I watch all Goldberg matches expecting sloppiness and expecting little awkward things to happen and expecting him to go a little bit hard on the other guy and things to land awkward on him and stuff like that. So maybe I just don't look into that stuff very much when it happens to him.
Well, and I actually like, you know, I think Steve Austin said like it's supposed to be kind of sloppy because it's supposed to be a fight. And if you've ever been in a real fight, it is not smooth. Yeah. Like the strikes and all the things, like if you pretty up wrestling too much, then it starts to look really choreographed. And this looked like a struggle, partially because it really was, but also because that's Regal style. And I think that actually made the match more interesting.
And that's why I get so frustrated with a lot of the botch accounts and stuff like that. Like I think it's funny to watch botches. I think because I think some of them look ridiculous and stuff. But I think that I like it when something goes wrong, when a guy tries to get up on the ropes and falls, or like stuff like that, because like you said, it makes it look more real. I don't need everything to look so polished. I'm more excited, and I enjoy things more when it looks like these guys are taking risks or doing something crazy that they might not have freaking down and they haven't practiced a million times. So I like that stuff.
Yeah. So in the end, same second verse, same as the first. Goldberg hits the spear, hits the jackhammer, beats Regal, and I actually think, while to some people it was like the first chink in the armor of like, oh, this guy's not indestructible. I think it helps because like he did have to overcome some adversity, and the higher up you get on the card, you can't beat Disco Inferno every week or beat, you know, like your Roadblock or some of these jobbers he was just beating. Like the higher up you get in the card, the more competitive these matches should get. And so next up was Spring Stampede 1998, the night that Sting lost the world title to Macho Man Randy Savage after he basically killing Sting. But kind of the beginning of the real Goldberg stuff. So we're in Denver, Colorado, 7,428 people in attendance, did a buy rate of 275,000. And in our opening match, Goldberg is taking on Perry Saturn in a battle of which man can look more like a gargoyle.
Yes.
Is it Perry Saturn or is it Bill Goldberg?
Dude, Perry Saturn looks gross. He looks like a gross person.
I love Perry Saturn. I like as a wrestler.
Bro. He looks like he looks like a scumbag. Like he's just disgusting human being. I don't know why. I'm just so like I'm off put by him. It was him and Prince Albert, and those two guys just maybe it's facial piercings. Maybe that's what gets
I was gonna say. They look very similar. I thought like Perry Saturn clearly has like a grunge thing going on, and so I was trying to figure out like which band. If he was in the band photo, would I not be surprised if it was Perry Saturn? And I think of the big Seattle bands, it's Alice in Chains. If he was in Alice in Chains, I would not be surprised.
Yeah,
he looks like he would fit in with those guys.
Godsmack, but it's not. That's not one of the bands.
Yeah,
I know that's not exactly what you were looking for, but it would probably be Godsmack for me. Or he's the drummer for Buck Cherry.
He's
Buck Cherry's roadie.
Grunge Perry Saturn, like he is at Spring Stampede 98, looks like he belongs in Alice in Chains to me.
I'll find him. He comes out with Grunge Kidman. Should have went by Skidman. Grunge Kidman looks hilarious.
Yeah, Heroin Kidman is. I believe the Shooting Star Press was named the 7-year itch whenever he was Grunge Kidman, and I was like, does he have scabies? Is that what they're trying? Because he's doing all the scratching, but I think he's supposed to be like a heroin addict, coded,
listen, it's really cool to be a junkie. You know what I mean? Is this Grunge Saturn?
That's Grunge Saturn, dude. Look at him.
I can see Alice in Chains. I could see Alice in Chains for sure.
And he has the traps, like mini versions of the traps that Goldberg has. Not quite.
He's big. He's built like a little goddamn pit bull. You know what I mean?
And he was an Army Ranger. Like Saturn's a bad motherfucker. Saturn is a great wrestler that just he's only going to make it so far, unfortunately, because he looks like Perry Saturn looks. But I really enjoyed him, especially in WCW. Goldberg is at 73-0 in 7 months, essentially. So that's not crazy. That's like 10 wins a month. Oh, that is not a Perry Saturn I am familiar with.
What's he doing there?
You know what? The Lord only knows.
It looks like he's got. I'm not going to put it back up, and it's not. This is pre-vape, but it looks like he's got a vape on his belt, which is hilarious.
Yeah. That's, so this is kind of the first big, pay-per-view test, I guess, for Goldberg, and Saturn's a good opponent for him because Saturn is a good worker. But they essentially are like, tonight he has to wrestle Saturn, and tomorrow he gets a U.S. title shot against the winner of Diamond Dallas Page and Raven. And Saturn is Raven's guy. And so he's supposed to sort of soften up Goldberg in case it's Raven the next night. So Goldberg, like we talked about, raw-boned, big motherfucker. He nearly kills Billy Kidman, body pressing him over the top rope onto Saturn. He almost dumps Kidman right on his head.
Sometimes you got to dump Kidman, though.
Yeah, I mean, it makes it look better.
Oh yeah, and by the way, he was trying when walking out. Goldberg was trying like a new twitchy thing.
Oh, he was doing like almost the punches to the camera.
He was like being twitchy with his face. He was okay. He's like, I'm crazy now. They're not gonna let me talk, so I'm gonna try to be crazy now. And I just wrote, crazy. We don't need this twitchy thing. We don't need it. I respect trying something though.
Yeah, this is the first time where somebody gets some heat on Goldberg from what we've watched. So Saturn hits a T-bone suplex, and then he smashes Goldberg's arm with the steps against the ring post, and then Saturn tries to do a moonsault from the second rope to the floor and nearly kills himself because he slips on the second rope. Yeah, and Goldberg has to catch him. And so they get back in the ring. Goldberg hits Saturn with the Bret Hart kick to the head, which like probably doesn't affect Saturn. Honestly, that Saturn's already crazy. So
no, you can't. It's like you can't headbutt a Samoan. You can't.
Yeah.
You can't wheel kick Perry Saturn.
Yeah. Then he spears Saturn, but Saturn, while Goldberg's trying to give him the jackhammer, hits Goldberg with a low blow, which does answer the question. Yes, you can low blow Goldberg. It does hurt him still.
And they did say that is the first time anybody has found a way to not get jackhammered.
yeah, just punch him in the dick. That's classic counter move.
Why is nobody? How many? He's 73 matches in, and nobody's gone for the nards yet. This is WCW.
I was going to say, especially in WCW.
A W shaped like a pair of nards, if you think about it.
Saturn goes to put him on the top rope, and this looked cool as shit to me. Saturn's going for some move, and Goldberg's on the second rope and just gorilla press slams Saturn from the second rope to the mat, which I don't think I've ever seen. It looked really crazy. Hits the spear to Kidman, but Saturn gets the Rings of Saturn on him, which is like the double arm submission thing that he does. Goldberg stands up out of it and then flips Saturn onto his shoulders into a jackhammer, which also looked really cool. And like, you have to be strong as fuck to be able to do that.
And that's what you see a lot. Like, it's obvious that his abdomen healed, because like a lot of times guys start to get a little off kilter with the jackhammer, and he always is able to ride it, like figure it out. Cause like, most of the time there's a little bit of balance issues getting the guy up there, and this one was like the biggest, because he had to start from the weirdest position to get him up in the air, and he's still strong enough to get him up that high. You know what I mean? Like, I used to mess with one of those like steel maces. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh yeah.
And even with that, if it starts to get like a little topsy over this way for you, you'll struggle. And this is a human being. This is a Perry Saturn. You know what I mean?
Yeah, this is a Perry Saturn-sized object.
He might be a little squat, but he's definitely still heavy. You know?
Yeah, he's more dense. You know. But yeah, that looked impressive as hell. So Goldberg gets the win, 8 minutes and 10 seconds. I actually really liked this match. I thought this was like a good, like, showcase for Goldberg, and Saturn's a good opponent because he could still do all his power stuff. But Saturn can also believably get offense on Goldberg, you know, and kind of extend the matches that way.
The funny thing about this booking is that since they have the stipulation of the winner fights Raven, the winner of Raven and DDP, everybody's got to know that Bill Goldberg is winning this fucking match. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, it was good.
At Spring Stampede, Raven beat Diamond Dallas Page for the U.S. title, which means that Raven, the next night on Monday Nitro, has to wrestle Goldberg. Also, by the way, Raven would be in Pearl Jam. Raven's a big Pearl Jam looking motherfucker. Grunge Raven is in Pearl Jam.
Yeah, I could see Alice in Chains for Raven too, but like I agree that there's a Pearl Jam situation going on.
He's and this match, of course, because it's Raven, Andrew, is contested under Raven's rules.
And listen, Raven's Rules is hilarious to me. I texted you earlier and was like, Raven's Rules, LOL. Because Raven's Rules is just no rules. It's like when people are like, Pete Holmes has that joke where he's like, sandwiches, dad style. That means extra mayo. It's like, all right, you're the only person. You own extra mayo, you bastard. Like, it's the same thing. Does Raven own no rules?
Yeah, no disqualification is Raven's Rules. Nobody else gets that. Yeah. That's all him.
The race between Danny Zuko and that rival gang member in Greece, when he says the rules are, there ain't no rules. That race was run under Raven's rules. They just didn't know.
Yeah. That's how he got the idea. He's like, man.
The T-Birds, fuck the T-Birds. We're dealing with Ravens.
right there, he kind of looks like he's clearly going for a Kurt Cobain kind of situation. But
I would go with you though. This is a vetter. Yeah. And I could be wrong, but I associate the flannel around the waist and leather jacket with vetter. I don't think I ever saw Kurt in a leather jacket.
Yeah, it was more cardigans. Kurt's a big cardigan guy.
Yeah, Kurt's a cardigan guy.
Yeah. Goldberg, when he comes out, is announced as weight unknown, hometown unknown. Okay, hometown unknown, I'll buy. He doesn't want to disclose that information. Weight unknown seems pretty easy to solve.
Also, they've been saying a hometown for a while about him, haven't they?
I haven't heard a hometown before, but this is Buffer. Buffer's got some wild calls later on in this stuff that we watched. But
wait, who could say hometown? Yeah. I don't care. It's a big fucker. William Billiam Goldberg. Give me my check.
Wherever he wants to be from, he can be from.
Have you seen the man? He's a big fucker. Let's get ready to wrestling.
All right, that's $250,000.
Yeah,
give it to me right now.
Give me $250,000, or I'm not leaving the goddamn ring. You have to wrestle around me.
They do explain. It's very quaint how they're like, well, the reason obviously because they go outside the ring and Raven's getting whipped into the guardrail by Goldberg, and the announcers are like, well, obviously they haven't counted him out because it's Raven's rules. I mean, we are not a place without rules, but unfortunately for Raven in this case, looks like he was hoisted on his own petard.
Yeah,
he's getting his ass whipped all around ringside because these are his own rules.
He signed up for his own rules. He made his bed. He's sleeping in it. By the way, real quick, I know this is completely unrelated. I'm surprised the WWE hasn't had Bruce Buffer do a entrance yet because they're the TKO thing. I'm surprised they haven't done that. Like for a Brock fight. Like that seems very clear, like very obvious. Maybe Bruce doesn't want to do it.
Yeah,
but Bruce says yes to everything. Bruce will go to your birthday party for $3,000.
I mean, he Mountain Dew commercials, whatever you want him to say. Let's get ready to rumble for. If you've got the cash in a duffel bag, Bruce Buffer will do it.
Yeah.
Proven later on by some of the wild shit he says, he'll say anything. Yeah, you just write it on the card for him, and he'll say it as long as the check's going to clear.
Yeah, so I'm surprised the greater Buffer hasn't shown up at anything.
If you've got a if you've got a duffel bag that he doesn't have to disclose to the IRS, he'll go ahead and say it.
Yeah, Michael Buffer's still kicking it, right? He's fucking
he's still
81 years old, still rocking it. All right. Anyway.
Raven hits the drop toe hold into the chair, which I always thought was like a really cool spot when I was younger.
Yeah.
Like in the classic Raven spot. Then the flock get in the ring. Just a bunch of zilches in the flock.
Just a bunch of flying weenies. This flock.
Yeah, Van Hammer, Sick Boy, who was never like a actual guy. They never explained. Sick Boy.
That was my nickname in elementary school.
Yeah, so they called you at the hospital.
Yeah.
And then Reese, big ass Ron Reese, who we will always know as the Yeti. They try to erase the fact that he's the Yeti, but not here.
Yeah,
no,
we won't let you forget that.
Nope. Once you're the Yeti, always the Yeti. And then Goldberg hits the spear and the jackhammer to Reese, which is legitimately impressive because Reese can't wrestle for shit, but he is a big motherfucker. So impressive that he was able to get him up for that. And then Raven tries to leave through the crowd, and the fans actually pick him up and throw him back in the ring, which I thought was cool, but like that definitely has to not be actual fans, right?
I think it's cool as hell. And I also agree that it was probably like Arn Anderson. You know, it was like probably somebody less recognizable, but like it probably was a work, but I think that's a really cool work where the bad guy tries to leave, but the fans throw him back into the ring. I think it's cool.
Like it worked great, but I'm like, they're not letting pedestrians pick up Raven and throw him back in the
Raven's not letting pedestrians fucking do that shit. Just civilians touching Raven. He's a goddamn grunge hero. He hit Goldberg. He had Goldberg in the worst rear naked choke I've ever seen in my life. It's almost as bad as John Cena's STF. But
a lot of air.
A lot of room between the back of Goldberg's head and Raven's chest. It was the weirdest thing,
well, it turns out watching old wrestling really bums me out because the rear naked choke is just the rear chin lock, but with zero pressure applied. Because you're like, man, so many matches could have just been finished if you cinched that thing up. Because it turns out that's a really effective submission hold. But in wrestling,
idea what you were doing?
Yeah, it's just a rest hold. I just place my arm gently around your chin and move it back and forth
Yeah.
while you sit there. Of course, Goldberg hits the spear and the jackhammer, wins the U.S. title. Big deal for Goldberg. He's only been since September. So it's September to April, and they've already put the second most important singles belt on him because by now they definitely know that they have something with him.
Yeah.
You know? But he just keeps squashing guys. There's no real like improvement in as far as his matches go. They don't really do angles with him. He doesn't talk still. And he just goes out there and smashes people, and people are so glad to see it that he's so over that they decide we got to put the belt on this dude. Now, do we want to put the belt on him on a pay-per-view? No. We would like to have Goldberg wrestle Hollywood Hogan with a week's notice in the Georgia Dome on Monday Nitro. So on the WCW Thunder the week before, they have J.J. Dillon come out and say, on Monday night in the Georgia Dome, Hulk Hogan has a contracted title defense. And I've decided that his opponent is going to be Goldberg. And Goldberg says he was at home watching Nitro and was like, oh, I guess I'm wrestling Hogan on Monday. Like, yeah.
Spit out his cereal.
Oh, are they going to sting me, brother? Is that,
I know. Fuck.
Are they trying to sting me? They do move. They had apparently done like 30,000 tickets for the Georgia Dome before they announced the match. They move 11,000 tickets in like 3 days and sell out the Georgia Dome for Goldberg because he played football at Georgia and he played for the Atlanta Falcons and he's over his shit. So like, I understand on the one hand doing this on Nitro, but it's like, business wise, man, imagine the number you could have got out of this, especially considering some stuff we're going to talk about later. We're not going to talk about that now though, but this is a huge deal. And I remember being like, oh man, like he has to beat Hogan. There's no way that they're going to let him not beat Hogan in this case. Like, he's so hot and he's the top babyface they have because they fucked it up with Sting.
Listen,
it's him
Dusty,
and Paige, you know.
You can't at this point, even though you were 13 or 14 years old, have any bone in your body that says there's no way blank can lose to Hulk Hogan in WCW right now. You know what I mean?
I'm just an eternal optimist, Andrew. You know, I was like, yes, they messed up the biggest surefire thing they've ever had, but surely this time, they won't mess it up.
Nobody's this stupid.
Yeah, so they have the Nitro, and it turns out they do something kind of smart here, which is in the first hour, they have the whole NWO come out, the NWO Black and White, because they've split factions at this point. There's a Wolfpack and there's the NWO Black and White, which is Hogan's group. And Hogan's like, hey, I have no problem wrestling Goldberg. I'll wrestle the shit out of Goldberg. I'll beat him, whatever. But like, this guy's got to prove himself. To get to the guy, you got to beat a guy. And the guy you got to beat tonight is Scott Hall. And Hall is like, what the fuck? In the ring, he's like, who? And so Hogan's like, if you beat Hall, then you get to have the title match, you know? And so they set up two separate things to kind of keep the viewer hooked. Like you're fish hooking him to keep him there so that they want to see what happens. So in the first hour, they have Goldberg versus Hall. And Goldberg comes out. Now he's got the big ass pyro. He's got the song. He's doing the thing where he stands in the pyro and breathes in the noxious fumes of the pyro, which I'm sure are not good for Goldberg. But it looks cool as hell. He like breathes it out, and it looks like he's breathing some smoke.
Bischoff talking now. He's like, we shouldn't use Zyklon B for that. I learned a lesson.
Yeah. Turns out
it only killed Mongo. I don't know why.
Yeah. There's a sign in the crowd that said the Titanic sank when it ran into Goldberg.
I like that.
1998. Yep.
Is this the match where there's a sign that says this is getting Oldberg?
Maybe. But Hall comes out, and like we talked about last week, like, goddamn Scott Hall, man. Even when he wasn't at his peak, the dude just oozed charisma and like knew exactly what his role here was, knew exactly what to do with Goldberg. Plays the perfect like fall guy heel for this match. You know,
everything he did was cool, man. I mean, he came out,
Yeah.
he did the airplane, he did the flick, he did the double point over the head. He did
Yep.
he played all the hits, bro, and he looked good.
Does my guy have any more? Is there a guy with any more gestures than
No.
Scott Hall?
And and I'm not a gesture guy. Like later on in the Kevin Nash match, I'm not going to spoil anything that happens in that match, but there's a part where Kevin Nash just does the wolf things in the air.
Yeah.
And I think wrestling hand gestures are really stupid. The only one that makes sense to me is Diamond Dallas Page, because it's a diamond. He's a diamond.
That's the right.
But
Yeah.
like, why does AJ Styles do this?
Because he's phenomenal.
It doesn't make any sense to me. You know what I mean? I know
I
they
like the
eventually
four-
did a thing with the Glag.
I like the For Life for a
For
while.
Life is fine
That's
because
pretty
that means something.
good. Yeah. You're doing something.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like even Randy Orton. What does that
Hey,
mean? What's this mean? Hey man, what's this mean?
What am I doing?
Ember Moon. Why are we doing this? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What's this mean?
What's with this guy? Goldberg hits a bunch of arm drags, and Hall does like a perfect drunk sell through the ropes to the floor, and he's like, "Man, fuck this! I don't care if he has to wrestle Hogan. I'm not getting beat up." So he goes to leave, and Karl Malone and Diamond Dallas Page, Hall goes out of the ring and tries to like call down the NWO backup guys, and while they're running down, DDP and Karl Malone run out and hit those guys with chairs and force Hall back in the ring. And when he turns around, he gets hit with the spear and the jackhammer. And so Goldberg has completed step 1 of this process and is now 107-0.
I always forgot about the Carl. Every time because I forget about Karl Malone because I don't think we ever watched like a Karl Malone program.
Nope.
So
Karl
like
Malone
every
with blue
time I'm like,
pants.
is that fucking Karl Malone, the mailman? What's he doing there?
And that is not John. That's definitely not John Stockton.
Yeah,
Who's out? That is Diamond Dallas Page. So now we get to the Hogan match. There are Goldberg chants in the arena, but the camera is on a bunch of fans, and not one of those fans is chanting Goldberg. Just they're all yelling or pointing or doing something, but none of them are chanting Goldberg in the rhythm that the song is, or is coming through on the mic. You know,
yeah.
which is fine. I don't care. Like, hype the dude up. I'm sure there were real chants for Goldberg. Like, if you want to help get the crowd in that mood, put it in the song. Doesn't matter to me.
The crowd seemed to like him. You know what I mean?
He was super over.
Yeah.
You know, he comes walking out. They do another set of Goldberg pyro. I think your guy Lodi probably had to be fired so that they could pay for more pyro for Goldberg. Lodi was
sometimes you got to crack some eggs to make an omelet. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Lodi was in there earlier, by the way. He was in the flock when they showed the flock sitting ringside. Surprised you didn't see your guy.
I don't know if I still have that picture of Lodi that I took from one of the things. I'll look to see if I can find it. It's one of the greatest wrestling pictures of all time.
Hogan comes out and he's playing the belt like a guitar, and the camera's up on him, and he goes, "I am going to kick Goldberg's butt."
Yeah, it's very weird. It's very weird. It was like when I saw him do it, it felt like he had to think in his head whether they had like how many asses are we allowed per episode. Oh man, Perry Saturn said ass earlier today, and we can't get another ass.
Why does Steve Austin get to call every person he meets a son of a bitch, but I have to say butt on TV, and I'm the biggest heel in this company?
You said it perfect, dude. Goldberg's butt.
Yeah. They get in the ring and lock up, and Goldberg said the first thing Hogan did was grab him and put him in a side headlock, and Hogan had put a bunch of Icy Hot in his armpit and rubbed Goldberg's face in it just to fuck with him. I get like as a rib, a wrestling sort of rite of passage. So like, and you could see Goldberg starts like selling to his eyes because he doesn't.
At one point the announcer's like, I don't know if he got him in the eyes or he's getting sweat in his eyes. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah. No, Hogan put icy hot in his because he's a dickhead. So, Tony Schiavone says Hogan has never had an opponent with 100% crowd support against him, and I can just imagine Wolfpack Sting backstage being like, "Bro, what the fuck are you talking about?
It's only been a year."
Yeah, before I had to join the NWO Wolfpack, I was the guy. Now I'm wrestling the Giant on pay-per-view.
You bastard.
They do a bunch of the classic Hogan heel stuff. He back rakes him. He chokes him. He hits him with his weight belt. None of the shit has any effect on Goldberg. Hogan does hit him with a chair and then drops the big leg on him. And then drops another big leg on him. And I was like, oh, fuck. Oh, no.
Yep.
And then Kurt...
No way.
Yeah. And then Kurt Hennig runs out and they miss the camera shot of Goldberg kicking out of the leg drops, which is like the thing you want to see.
You just hear him say that they kicked out of the leg drops.
Yeah. Hennig comes out. Here come Malone and Diamond Dallas Page again. And then Hogan is distracted. He turns around. Goldberg hits him with the spear, a nice spear, a spear that I'm sure many of the jobbers that have wrestled Goldberg would have liked. But Goldberg was like, look, I was afraid I was going to kill Hulk Hogan if I hit him with the spear.
Yeah.
So
I mean, he split Steven Regal in half with a spear in that match earlier. So,
and then he picks him up and hits the jackhammer and wins the world title. Bobby Heenan on commentary is losing it. Bobby Heenan loved Goldberg. Like a lot of the best parts of that supercut of all the Goldberg matches are Bobby Heenan doing the color commentary.
There's a picture. I found it. It took me a while to find the picture of Lottie, but I found it.
You got to dress up like that for Halloween, dude.
Nobody will know what it is. You know what I mean?
Doesn't matter. You'll know.
I'm Lodi from fucking anyway.
I'm Lodi from classic WCW.
I think this is Billionaires Club versus New Blood, but I can't remember.
Yeah. That's because they have everybody come out to the ring.
It's so good.
Like Bobby Heenan in all of these things, he would be like, there's one where Goldberg's wrestling Brad Armstrong and Goldberg spears him and Bobby Heenan just goes, services for Mr. Armstrong will be happening right now. And like he loved Goldberg. And I watched a shoot interview after where he talked about Goldberg and he's like, guess what? I would have had him go 3,000-0. It's like whoever decided to beat Goldberg is a fucking idiot. He's like, all those guys did it because they were jerking around and they were upset that they weren't as over. Do you have any idea how huge this guy is? He's a legitimate athlete. He's gigantic. They ruined everything because I can hear the wrestling brain of Bobby Heenan when he's talking about Goldberg, just being like, this dude is an endless money factory. As long as you have guys for him to wrestle, there's no reason that this guy can't make you $1 billion.
Yeah, I can see his point because it's like you can either get 1,000 moderate nuts off of him or like one big one, and you're probably getting more from the 1,000 moderate ones than the one big one. Like because they sold a decent amount at Starrcade '98, but anyway.
Yeah. Tony Schiavone goes at the end when Goldberg's holding both belts up because the double champ does what he wants. He apologizes to absolutely fucking nobody.
No, especially that one.
Yeah. Schiavone goes, "Who's next?" And Bobby Heenan goes, "Who cares?" Like it's the classic WCW where they don't yes and each other, but it worked in this moment. Yeah, it's like he just beat Hogan. Who cares who's next? Let's stay in this moment right here.
And it's like, who cares? Yeah, exactly. He just beat Hulk Hogan. Like, let's live in this one for a second.
Let's marinate that one for a minute. So Bash at the Beach is the next pay-per-view. They take the U.S. title off of Goldberg because they don't want to have somebody beat him. but they also don't want him to have both singles main titles. So he has to vacate the belt because he won the world title. So at Bash at the Beach, he defeats, guess who? Classic stand-in, Kurt Hennig. Who do you need a guy to lose? Bring me Kurt Hennig.
Ironic that his name's perfect.
Yeah, he squashes Kurt Hennig in 3 minutes and 50 seconds. And I give them a little bit of a pass on this one because this pay-per-view took place like a week after they did the Georgia Dome match, which begs the question, why not do this match at Bash at the Beach? But what do I know?
Yeah.
They sold a big number here. They sold 580,000 pay-per-views because while Goldberg is the champion, guess who's on top in the main event? It's going to go ahead and be the Hulkster.
It's gonna go ahead and beat one Terry Bollea.
Yeah, that's Hogan and Rodman versus Diamond Dallas Page and Karl Malone. So this is why Malone's in all of this stuff.
Jesus Christ.
And Rodman and Hogan beat Malone and Diamond Dallas Page in the main event. In a match that a lot of people believe Dennis Rodman was drunk for, if you'll buy that.
The Worm? Not the Worm.
Not the
Worm I know.
So you're like, okay, whatever, man. They only had 6 days to build a program for Goldberg. But the next month at Road Wild in Sturgis, Goldberg is still the champion, and he takes part in the NWO Invitational Battle Royal.
Oh, thank God.
Which he wins in 8 minutes by defeating, he didn't beat all these guys, but the other guys in this match are Kurt Hennig, Conan, Lex Luger, Scott Hall, Scott Norton, Sting, and the Giant. Now, you don't think that in a month you could maybe build a program with one of those guys to be your world heavyweight title match? You don't think that you could do something? But also not the main event on that show. You want to go ahead and guess who's in the main event of that show? That's going to go ahead and be the Hulkster.
It's gonna be one Terry Bollea, the Hulk Hogan.
The one Hulk Hogan. William Billiam Goldberg, not the main event. Instead, it was Diamond Dallas Page and Jay Leno versus Hulk Hogan and Eric Bischoff.
And sometimes I just gotta get in and get in a fight. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And Kevin Eubanks hit a diamond cutter on Eric Bischoff, and then he played a sick blues lick on his guitar.
Fuck.
This sold 365,000 pay-per-views somehow. Even though this does have a match between the Public Enemy and Alex Wright and the Disco Inferno, they got -1 star.
The Public Enemy is Rocco Rock and fuck, because the
work through it.
The Nasty Boys.
Yeah.
Fuck. Johnny Grunge is the other one.
There you go.
And the Nasty Boys are oh man. I can't even think of one Nasty Boy right now.
It's been too long.
There's the blonde mullet.
Yep.
Ooh, he said the N-word. What's his name? I don't know, man. Brian Knobs. Jerry Saggs is the other one.
There you go.
Jerry Saggs. So I got 3 out of 4. I don't know if you count the Jerry Saggs because I needed the Brian Knobs first.
I mean, you still said it. You still got him. So, Road Wild, by the way, 3 -star matches on it. And one of them is not Jay Leno and Diamond Dallas Page versus Hulk Hogan and Eric Bischoff. So
Road Wild always sucked, man.
Yep.
Sorry, Sturgis.
The next month is Fall Brawl. Fall Brawl has the War Games. Do you want to guess who is one of the guys in the War Games?
Was Bill Goldberg? Was William Billiam Goldberg in the War Games? Or was he just
not
Hulk
in the War Games?
It's Hulk Hogan.
One Hulk Hogan in the War Games. Bill Goldberg not on the pay-per-view. no match for the World Heavyweight Champion on your pay-per-view in September.
Yeah. All right.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
Looks good.
Sick that they're doing that.
He's still beating guys on Nitro. He beat Scott Norton on Nitro. He wrestled Sting on Nitro. Couldn't make that the main event of Fall Brawl. Could have Sting versus Goldberg. You don't think that would have put some butts in seats?
No, Sting wasn't ready, dude. He didn't have a tan.
So we finally get to Halloween Havoc. Halloween Havoc 1998. We've landed at the MGM Grand in Las Vegas. 310,000 buys for this pay-per-view, which is actually down pretty substantially from Halloween Havoc 97 with the infamous Rowdy Piper versus Hogan cage match that blew out both of Randy Savage's knees. But they have managed to find an opponent for the World Heavyweight Champion. And this opponent is Diamond Dallas Page, who won the aforementioned War Games the previous month. So I couldn't find anything about an angle for this, about promos for this. I scoured YouTube trying to find stuff. I think they did just sell it on like DDP is super over. He's the number 2 babyface. Goldberg is the number 1 babyface. Can Diamond Dallas Page beat Goldberg? Which is fine. That's a fine way to sell this match. Goldberg's still undefeated. He's still killing people on your syndicated shows, even though he hasn't been on pay-per-view.
They did have quite a bit of time to tell a story, though.
Yes. Diamond Dallas Page gets announced by Michael Buffer. He comes to us from the Jersey Shore by the way of the School of Hard Knocks. That's not a real announcement. You can't really say that. Only in wrestling.
Like a little redhead Annie.
Yeah. As one of the Jeffersons once put it, he is moving on up to the east side. If he wins the World Heavyweight title tonight, he'll finally have a piece of the pie. Diamond Dallas Page. Lucky for Diamond Dallas Page,
hailing from a deluxe apartment in the sky.
Luckily for Page, before this, for whatever reason, maybe because he's been working with Leno and Malone the last few months, his ribs have finally healed. The perpetual injured ribs of Diamond Dallas Page are uninjured.
They do. They were always, and it sucks when you're like, oh man, my ribs are finally getting better. And Eric Bischoff goes, hey, I've got an opponent for you.
Yeah, the guy who's famous for football tackling his opponent is the guy. Goldberg, they have added the fact that like they go backstage for Goldberg's entrance and the door is closed and they knock when his music plays and he's got a whole police escort. It's cool. I think it adds to the aura. His music starts playing, the crowd can get pumped. He comes out and Michael Buffer says his power spear and inverted lift to body slam and pin have made him a legend or whatever. You could just call it a jackhammer. They have a name for the move. That he does.
It is so Michael Buffer to do it like that, though. To not buy into the jackhammer bullshit and like try to like technically, he picks guys up and puts them down on their back and then pins them. Like it's kind of
slams
classic.
The fuck out of them.
Yeah, it's kind of classic for the announcer to not like know all the perfect nomenclature. You know what I mean? He announces it as a normal person, which I like.
Yeah. Goldberg at this point is 154-0, and Bobby Heenan has started calling him "Da Man." That's "Da Man," Bill Goldberg.
I got that from Malone.
Yeah. Page is the perfect opponent here for Goldberg because Page famously is very meticulous about putting his matches together, and he like would want to go over them and practice them, and had like a layout essentially of from spot to spot what he would want to do, which I think is very helpful. With Goldberg, and he's busting everything out here, man. Diamond Dallas Page does a flying head scissors in this match, and he's in his like mid 40s, like very impressive. He's working his ass off in this match.
I love Dallas Page, dude.
And he's a perfect babyface. Like Goldberg dominates with power, and Page has got to be like sneaky and kind of uses wits to get around Goldberg. Goldberg misses a spear into the corner and hits the post, which of course gives Page like the ability to kind of gives Goldberg a chance to sell without looking weak, and gives Page a chance to kind of take over and lead the match, which is very smart for them. Page hits a springboard clothesline out of the corner. Clearly, he learned some moves from La Parka whenever he was dressing up as him to hit nefarious diamond cutters on Randy Savage.
Sometimes you got to do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. They Page has Goldberg down, and then of course he plays to the crowd to put up the diamond cutter sign, and then Goldberg just spears the fuck out of him so hard, in fact, that Goldberg spiked his own head into the mat and knocked himself out legit in this match.
I was wondering. It looked like he fucked himself up pretty good.
Yeah. So then they sell that. When Goldberg goes for the jackhammer, he can't get Page up to do it. And then he goes to get it again. Page reverses it, hits a diamond cutter. The crowd fucking explodes.
Yeah.
Because Page has not won a world title at this point. This might be his first. This is definitely his first pay-per-view championship match. But and at this point, the streak has gone on so long. Goldberg's so dominant. You want to be in the crowd when he gets beat. It's like whenever the streak ended. You might not want the streak to be over, but it's cool to be able to be there to say you were there when it happened.
And people, I'm guessing
and
here.
People love Page.
Yeah, I mean he had a great run in the previous year, and he didn't get. I didn't think he got everything that he should have gotten out of that earlier run. So
yeah,
maybe everybody's feeling that way too.
And so that gets a near fall, and then Page picks Goldberg up to suplex him, which seems for such a cerebral wrestler like a real error to put yourself in position for the other guy's move.
Yeah.
Even if you're trying to do it. So Goldberg reverses it into the jackhammer and wins pretty quickly. I feel like the finish kind of came out of nowhere, but it's a really good match. Maybe Goldberg's best WCW match. He wins in 10 minutes and 28 seconds. This got 3.25 stars, but they shot themselves in the foot because this match did not air on the pay-per-view. I think we might have talked about this before. They ran over the window for pay-per-view. So right when this match was going to start, the feed cut off and a bunch of people complained. So the next night on Nitro, they had to show the match for free and give a bunch of refunds back to people. So
Goldberg was all stoked. I finally had a good match. You guys see that?
Yeah. No,
we did not see that.
Didn't see a goddamn thing. Well, and also, so finally you get a good pay-per-view opponent for Goldberg. You get a good match out of Goldberg. You have people putting down their money, probably like a prize fight, to see Goldberg, and then you want to introduce them to WCW as a whole. Pay-per-view goes off the air before the main event. Yeah. So I spent $30 to not see that. And the rest of this card, while fine, is not particularly great. It's not like best foot forward kind of stuff. And we've watched a match on this show before. Andrew, I don't know if you recall.
What show is this?
This is Halloween Havoc 1998, featuring one of the funniest things that's ever happened in wrestling. One of your favorite things that's ever happened in wrestling.
Okay.
Let's
see. I'm trying to see if I can. I'm trying to see. I mean, we had Billy Kidman defeating Disco Inferno.
Yeah, it's not Saturn versus Lodi. Just so you know,
it's not Saturn versus Lodi.
No.
What was Disco Inferno defeating Juventud? What am I missing?
Go ahead and look at the co-main event there.
Hogan defeating the Warrior. What happened here? What am I missing? What am I forgetting?
That's the Hogan tries to throw a fireball. The Ultimate Warrior.
Okay, yeah. When he gets in the corner and he's fucking with the fireball, and then it like you can tell it burns his hand, and he starts doing this, and it's so funny. Yeah, that is one of my favorite moments in the history of wrestling.
Threw it right in his face. Also got -5 stars. So. And Sting versus Bret Hart, which had been kind of a dream match, the Sharpshooter versus the Scorpion Deathlock, 1.5 stars. So like they blundered it. Like this is a show that could have introduced a bunch of people to WCW. They could have put a really great show on, and instead they put on a mediocre show that doesn't show the finish. But the next night on Nitro, they do beat Raw 5.1 to 4.5 because they had to put the pay-per-view main event on for free. So maybe that works out for them. In November, there's World War III as a pay-per-view. Hulk Hogan is not on this show. Would you care to guess whether or not Goldberg is on this show?
No, he's not.
Not on this show. Did not appear. Does not have an opponent.
Why would you?
Cannot have a guy fight your world champ. But Kevin Nash does win the World War III, which does give him the title match at Starrcade 98. So again, I'm looking for an angle. I'm looking for promos. I'm looking for anything. The only thing I could find was they did a contract signing on the November 30th edition of Nitro with Nash and Goldberg, but Goldberg is out. Like they have Goldberg come out in street clothes, which looks really silly. Like that dude you should not see him looking like a regular person.
He does look funny in street clothes, and he liked those like those hats. You know what I'm talking about? The Samuel Jackson hats.
Yeah, he should only be Goldberg. Like he should not be a regular guy at all. The Nash comes out with Conan and Lex Luger for some reason, just so there could be more dudes from the Wolfpack in this segment. They don't cut any promos. The Nash is kind of just making faces at Goldberg. The main guy in this segment is Bam Bam Bigelow, who thinks that he should be wrestling Goldberg and jumps the rail. And then that's it. They don't do anything to build this match beyond just Nash versus Goldberg. But Nash is super over as a babyface here, and so is Goldberg. And so you've got a big match, you know.
Well, it was funny seeing just the Nash making faces. Him, and he did it a lot. Shawn Michaels did it a lot. The guys that like are trying to be the funny wacky guy, but they don't know how to do that. So they're like Nash was doing this with his fingers and like making like weird faces at him. It's like a kid that's trying to be the funny, like annoying kid in class and doesn't know how to do it. It was really bugging me.
Well, and he's selling how scary Goldberg is. Like, that's kind of they're too cool for. Okay.
I got Goldberg in those Oakleys, dude. I'm surprised. I'm glad they're not over his head, but I kind of wish they were over his head. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Christian used to wear the over the head ones, which was very funny. I'm glad we moved beyond that in sunglass technology.
There's some new ones that no, I think they were old ones that we found. Never mind. But yeah, we are past that.
So now we're at Starrcade 98. Starrcade 98 took place December 27th. In Washington, D.C. at the MCI Center, which is where they ran Starrcade 97. If you don't remember, it's okay. Do you recall the buy rate for Starrcade 97? We talked about it last week.
I know, and I looked at it today. It was like 375 or something like that. No, 700 something.
700,000.
Yeah.
Biggest pay-per-view in the history of WCW. This one still sells a boatload of pay-per-views. 460,000 is not an insubstantial amount of pay-per-views, which again proves people want to see Goldberg in a big match.
Yeah.
Like they will pay to see Goldberg fight a guy. So you've had 2 pay-per-views where Goldberg didn't wrestle anybody or should even be on the show. And then 2 that were throwaways. So in 4 months, you gave away money by not having an angle for Bill Goldberg.
I just saw who Ric Flair wrestled on this pay-per-view.
Yeah, he did.
Ric Flair was defeated by Eric Bischoff in 7 minutes and 8 seconds. In this.
He sure does.
If he's not losing, he's like, okay, Hogan's not on the card. I'm probably gonna go over somebody. I'm Ric Flair, and Bischoff's like, hey, Rick, can you come to my office really quick? Does he beat him? I mean, he can't beat him clean. He had to have cheated.
Yeah, he might have had the loaded loaded foot,
diamond plate in the foot.
Yeah, I can't remember, but he should have. So Nash comes out. Nash has got the NWO Wolfpack theme, which is goated. This is like one of the best themes in wrestling history. It at least is cool. It's C Murder is doing the vocals on it from No Limit Soldiers. It's written by Jimmy Hart. It sounds an awful lot like Clint Eastwood by the Gorillaz now that I listen to it.
Yeah.
But he comes out and he's got the best intro from Michael Buffer. He must have given Buffer an extra $100,000 on the side or something, because the entire quote is, though he is from Detroit, Michigan, his accomplishments and glory in the world of wrestling have made him a citizen of the world.
Hell yeah, dude.
Hell yeah, dude.
Hell yeah, dude.
To be called a citizen of the world. Goldberg comes out. The crowd is split, but they're into both guys. It's one of those situations. Like, you have put them in a situation where they're going to boo or they're going to cheer both of them because they're both baby faces ostensibly. Made me laugh because it's very smoky in the MCI Center. They do not have a good dispensation of the pyro from Goldberg. So like, it's the first 5 minutes,
that stuff lingers. Shout out to Cranberries.
The first 5 minutes of this show, it's just hanging out in there. Nash is doing a Nash match. There's a famous thing where Jim Cornette was talking about when he was training Fake Diesel. He watched a bunch of Nash matches, and he's like, "I got to 6 moves, and that was it." And he's like, punches in the corner, knees in the corner, big boot, side slam, power bomb, and those are the key Kevin Nash moves. Fucking Goldberg goes to put Nash in like a one of that like rolling knee bar, and then Nash busts out an arm bar, like a cross arm bar out of nowhere, which is not a move that Nash is known for. So he must have been watching Gracie tapes at home.
He's trying to beat him with his own game, you know what I mean?
Yeah. You got to get in the head of the enemy. So Nash misses a big boot, gets speared. Nash watched the match with Saturn, so he knows the low blow is the only defense against the jackhammer. So he hits Goldberg with that.
Got to get that wiener.
Yeah, tape study. Goldberg gets back in control. Disco Inferno runs out, who is not a member of the NWO Wolfpack, but is wanting to be. And so he's wearing the Wolfpack shirt. He gets beat up by Goldberg. Bam Bam Bigelow comes out. So now he gets beat up by Goldberg. And then Goldberg turns around and Scott Hall is there in a security vest and uses like a cattle prod to the chest of Goldberg to taser him, to knock him down. And Nash doesn't see this. So then Nash picks him up, hits the jackknife, and pins Goldberg to a big pop. But again, I think this is more, hey, we saw the streak end.
Yeah.
And we like Nash. So it is a little bit of both. But Nash is always saying that, like, Goldberg wasn't as over as everybody thought. He was getting booed in the buildings. People were chanting Goldberg sucks. Like, somebody had to beat him. And so Nash ends up winning the title at Starrcade in about 11 minutes. This got 2.25 stars, which is only a quarter star better than Bischoff and Ric Flair.
That got 2 stars? God damn.
Yeah. But he's I mean, Flair's a worker, you know what I mean? That's
Flair can pull anybody out of the dumps.
Diamond Dallas Page and the Giant only got 3/4 star, which is tough.
That's on the Giant, 100%.
Yeah. Would you believe that Perry Saturn versus Ernest Miller got a dud, and Norman Smiley versus Prince Iaukea also a dud? Back-to-back duds on this show.
Couldn't
Which
have-
again is like
wouldn't have guessed.
460,000 people paid for this pay-per-view, and you're giving them a lot of slop to not keep them around before you get to Goldberg and Nash.
Yeah.
So
I mean, that's WCW. Well, it's usually the other way around.
I mean, the open to no one's surprise, the opening cruiserweight three-way between Mysterio, Juventud Guerrera, and Kidman got 4.5 stars, and that match fucking rocks. But you know, after that, you don't have anything. You got Guerrero and Kidman got 3.5 stars. So that's and then from there you're kind of left with what you got. But Nash wins the belt. Now, is it possible that it was time to take the belt off Goldberg? Possibly. You never know. Like, you could do other stuff. You could maybe build something based on this. So the next night on Nitro, Nash comes out and he's like, "Hey, Hall did that without my my blessing. He was rogue. He's my guy, so I'll always defend him. But like Goldberg, I don't want to win that way. So if you want a title shot, next week we're back in the Georgia Dome. I'll give you the title match." So they're selling the Georgia Dome on Goldberg versus Nash rematch for the heavyweight title. Right?
Just they loved to just run back what they previously did. I go, we can get it twice. You know what I mean? Like, and
we can do a.
I'm okay with. Go ahead.
We can do a fuck finish, fuck our baby face, and then we'll promise you the rematch.
Yeah,
the next night. Yeah,
I'm okay with Goldberg losing at this point. I'm okay with that from what I've seen. I'm also okay with him losing via cattle prod. It kind of pissed me off at first, but the more I thought about it, I'm like, okay, that's a good way you can beat your guy. Yeah. The fact that it was Kevin Nash is the problem for me. It was. You know how big of a heel you could have made somebody, but you decided to cattle prod this guy, and then not only are you cattle prodding the guy who benefited from the cattle prod is like, I know, dude. Yeah, this fucked up that I benefited from this cattle prod. So you didn't even make a real heel out of this.
No.
Anyway.
So the next week, they've been hyping this match all week. We're at the Georgia Dome. The beginning of Nitro, a bunch of police officers come up to Goldberg and say that he needs to come to the police station because Miss Elizabeth has filed a harassment report against Goldberg. And Goldberg's like, I don't know what you're talking about. And they're like, we have to get a statement from you. You have to come down to the police station. You need to surrender right now. That's how it works. And so
are you William Billiam Goldberg?
Look,
speaking?
If you're not William Billiam Goldberg, that's on us. But
we don't have anything else further to speak of.
There's actually not a whole lot of dudes that look like you, so we think we got the right guy. So while that's happening, in the background, Hogan had quote unquote retired so that he could run for president. In 1998, he announced on the Tonight Show in November he's going to run for president in the year 2000, which is funny to think about an alternate universe where Hulk Hogan is the president in the year 2000, and he's got like Secretary of State Hacksaw Jim Duggan and Secretary of Labor Dean Douglas.
Fucking Brutus Beefcake would be like one of his fall guys. You know how Donald Trump likes to hire guys and then just completely just leave them in the shit for taking they take the.
Well, his name is literally the Disciple in WCW at this point. So Attorney General the Disciple. What do you think is going to happen to that guy? Yeah. But anyway, on this show, Hogan comes back and he's like, hey, I heard we didn't have a main event. I heard Goldberg's gone. What about me, brother? And so Nash cuts a promo where he's like, look, I'll wrestle Hogan. I don't care. If Hogan wants it, we can do that. And if Goldberg comes back, then it's his match. I'll do either one. And so the main event of this show that was sold on Goldberg versus Nash is now Hogan versus Nash, which is like whatever. I'm sure the people might have been fine with this, but Hulk Hogan comes out with Scott Steiner, and then Nash comes out and he's got Scott Hall, and Scott Hall's wearing the Wolfpack shirt, and everybody's stoked because Hall and Nash are back together. and they come into the ring. They're talking about these are not taped matches. We're live, baby, because the Raw was taped, and this was the famous night where Mick Foley wins the world title, and they say that'll put asses in seats. They gave the finish away, and then they did this. And people turned the channel and watched a magical moment where Mick Foley wins the world title. So, you know,
they were so close to doing good shit. It's just so funny.
They lock up, whatever. Everybody knows. Hogan and Nash are standing there. Hogan rears back to punch, pokes Nash on the chest. Nash takes a bump, and Hogan pins him. And then they all stand up and celebrate in the ring. And suddenly, Eric Bischoff is on commentary out of nowhere. I just set a whole bunch of money on fire. Hilarious.
I'm going to be so rich. Actually, the opposite of that. Did you see me beat Ric Flair last week? Huh?
I'm gonna live forever, motherfuckers. You thought you were getting a match? Eat shit, fans. So they're all in the ring, and suddenly a police car shows up. Goldberg gets out, and he sprints to the ring. And here, okay, fine, whatever. You did the funny thing. What's the top babyface going to do? He jumps in the ring. There's the NWO guys. He starts beating them up. Lex Luger runs out to back up Goldberg, apparently. I don't know what Luger was doing at this particular point, storyline wise.
But he's holding off the Wolfpack guys.
Yeah. But of course, he fucking swerves and he attacks Goldberg. And then the NWO beat down Goldberg. They handcuff him. They're hitting him with the taser. They spray paint him. Eric Bischoff is doing incredibly irritating spray paint sound effects. Just going shh over them, like making Goldberg look like an idiot for 3 or 4 minutes.
Just the same shit that they've been doing for over a year.
The fans are idiots. We're idiots for watching. Goldberg's an idiot for getting tricked. Nash is an idiot. Why would Nash lose to Hogan on purpose to not have the belt? Like, and that is Kevin Nash's defense, which is one that I do agree with, which is because a lot of people think because Nash eventually starts booking the shows in like April of '99, he becomes the booker. But they think that he was the booker for the Starrcade match, which he was not, as far as anybody can tell. I don't know who was booking it, but I also know that Nash and Hogan are probably leaning on whoever's booking Bischoff to be like, isn't it about time that we beat the streak? And what if Hulk gets the belt back? Wouldn't that be pretty good for for television? So like, it's one of those classic wrestling things where it's like, yes, you weren't technically booking the finish to this match, but if you want me to believe that you just showed up at the building and were like, whatever you say, boss, I don't think that's true either.
Because I mean, he very clearly they had influence over everything for a long time, and like, it's just this is just indefensible. Like, it's just they did every. You know how like when you have braces, and then you have to keep wearing your retainers because your gums keep taking everything back to where your gums are used to being. Like, that's the NWO. Is they just everything just went to the same conclusion. It was always, no matter what it was whoever you were rooting for is going to be on his face in the middle of the ring with all of these guys, the same dudes stomping on the back of his head because they betrayed him. And there was no like. It was never like, oh, this is different. There were a lot of things that were like, oh, man, if this goes different, this is going to be actually really good. Nope, same shit every fucking time. It was just awful.
And whether or not you think Goldberg was ready or whatever, like the thing that you couldn't argue is that he was over. And he was over like crazy. And he was a homegrown star from nothing. He hadn't come from the WWF. He hadn't come from somewhere else. He was their guy. And in the end, they couldn't help but make him look like an idiot. Because the idea coming out of this, in theory, was, okay, Goldberg's getting a little stale. We need something to jumpstart him, which I'm not wholly against. So we beat him, and then we swerve and reform the NWO, And now he has a monster factory of guys that he has to beat to get back to Hogan to get the belt back, which in theory is not bad booking, aside from the fact that you made the belt look like a joke. You should never, in my opinion, you should never make the belt look like a joke to get to your end game.
And you could, like I said earlier, you could have made a different guy. Like, you could have had a new blood guy, like not Disco Inferno, but somebody like Disco Inferno who's trying to join and trying to make a name for himself in the NWO is the guy that comes out with the cattle prod, or either that or that guy somehow through some chicanery weasels his way into a title shot. The NWO can't get to this title shot. Well, I guess they had a fucking stipulation that they could get into any title shot, which is another bad booking. But like something happens where there's like a guy who's trying to prove himself to the NWO, and he does this awful scumbag shit and becomes a giant hateable heel. Not a guy that we as a known commodity that is basically we feel what we were gonna feel about Kevin Nash. Like at this point, we had seen so much of him. Like everybody kind of likes him. It's kind of a thing. The NWO is obnoxious, but like Kevin Nash has this fucking charisma that Scott Hall has even more of, like that type of shit. But like, I don't know, man. I just feel like you could have chosen a different guy and done like you're talking about, is like build something out of this where he has a monster factory. Don't just bury his ass.
Well, you had like, not that Bam Bam is the guy, because I don't think Bam Bam can hold the belt, but like you have Bam Bam and some new guys. The best guy to do that is Paige.
I completely agree.
Have Paige beat him with the help from Bam Bam. You could still do babyface versus babyface again. You know, Diamond Dallas Page wins World War III. He scrapes himself up from the boxcars, wins the rematch at Starrcade, and he's like, "Hey, I almost had you at Halloween Havoc. This time I have to win." Blah blah blah. Whatever you're gonna do, and then you have Bam Bam as the guy with the taser who helps Paige because they're real life friends, and then he beats Goldberg, and now Paige is a heel aligned with Bam Bam and whoever else you want, and then those are the guys that Goldberg has to beat to get back to the belt, and then you have a whole new set of guys where it's not just the reformed NWO doing, like you said, the exact same thing that's been going on for years. Like you said, back to back Starrcades, you fucked it up.
You set it up so good the whole year.
Yep. You had it both times by accident. You complete buffoons.
Yeah.
You had, and so, okay, so coming out of this real quick, so if that's the idea, NWO Monster Factory, you figure, all right, here we go. At the January pay-per-view, Goldberg beats Scott Hall in a taser on a pole match. At the February pay-per-view, he beats Bam. Sure. February pay-per-view, he beats Bam Bam Bigelow. At the March pay-per-view, he is not on that show, as I recall, at least. March 99. At the April pay-per-view, he gets his win back from Kevin Nash at Spring Stampede. What I did not mention, a world title match for Goldberg. You know why? Never had one. Never got back to Hogan. Ever. It never happened. He wrestles Sting at Spring Stampede. Hogan drops the belt to Diamond Dallas Page. Goldberg gets into a feud with the Steiner brothers where he gets kayfabe injured so he can go make a movie. By the time he comes back, the belt has gone through 2 or 3 other guys. Never gets his revenge on Hogan. Never gets his revenge on the NWO.
Why would he?
No, because WCW. Why would you? You know who was on every pay-per-view of 1998? Stone Cold Steve Austin. Who was on every single goddamn show defending the world title or wrestling for the world title or being in the main event program.
And you know what most of those matches were? Satisfying.
Yes. You know what the conclusion of many of those matches were? Stone Cold Steve Austin won. He overcame the challenge. So like again, like this is maybe why I am so obsessed with WCW, and we can leave on this thing, which is like, yeah, the WWF is bad sometimes. In the 90s and the 2000s and the 80s, like you can find bad WWF storylines easily. You can find things that are not particularly compelling. You never find something like this where it is so fumbled so often. Like they never get out of their own way, even when they're successful. Like if Hogan versus Sting kills WCW, this is what buries them at sea, is the fact that they accidentally created a brand new star who was so over with the general population, for even though he had only wrestled a year and a half, that people compared him to Steve Austin, and then they just beat that guy. And they like the amount of stupidity it takes to do that is incredible. And the fact that you can never line the pieces up. It never makes sense as to why they did the thing they did when the opposite was so easily available to them.
It's like it was like kinking a hose and then turning off the faucet before you unkink it.
Yeah.
Like you don't get the explosion, you just get the falling out of it. You know what I mean? Like it was it's so they just had so many times where like two big times. Like this is the thing. Vince turned the Montreal Screwjob into him being the biggest heel in the history of professional wrestling. Like
yes.
He took this thing where like if you look at maybe his promotional mistakes throughout all those things, like the Screwjob can be seen as a promotional mistake in certain ways because you literally have Bret Hart painting the letters WCW on their TV. You know what I mean? And he turns it into millions of dollars.
Yeah, and sent them Bret Hart, who, by the way, they did nothing with.
They did nothing with.
Nothing with him. I made a quick list. Here are all the guys that Goldberg never wrestled on pay-per-view that they could have had him wrestle on pay-per-view in the time that he was champion. Scott Hall never wrestles on pay-per-view for the belt. The Giant, they had him wrestle him on Nitro and beat him. Never on pay-per-view. You can't tell me that you couldn't get the Giant over for a world title match in a month. Just have him choke slam a bunch of dudes against Goldberg. Yeah. Sting gave that match away on Nitro. He beat Sting on Monday Nitro. Bam Bam Bigelow, never a pay-per-view match between the two guys. You tell me
clearly wanted to.
Couldn't have built Bam Bam. Chris Jericho in the fall of '98 essentially shoots his own angle against Goldberg. And it gets over, and they never pay it off. They never have a match between the two of them. One day we'll cover that. Scott Steiner, who's a big heel at this point. You're telling me you couldn't sell Scott Steiner versus Goldberg for 1 month instead of Kurt Hennig? They bought Jay Leno versus Eric Bischoff on pay-per-view. You're telling me you couldn't get Steiner on that thing?
Yeah.
No matches with Lex Luger. No matches with Bret Hart. You didn't do a month where he beats the Ultimate Warrior for the brief time that you had him. You didn't think there was anything that could be gained having him squash famous wrestler, the Ultimate Warrior. And perhaps the biggest error of all, he never wrestles Hogan on pay-per-view. Ever. Never again. They don't lock up one time after he beats them in the Georgia Dome. Like, it is incredible the amount of money left on the table for these Goldberg matches in the months that he's not even on pay-per-view. Why not have him wrestle the Giant at Fall Brawl? That's at least one extra match you could have had your guy on there for.
I think they were just so focused on thinking the NWO was the star that they couldn't see the forest through the trees.
Yeah. I want to give a brief shout out to all the jobbers that Goldberg defeated many, many times. My favorite is a guy named Jerry Flynn, who Goldberg defeated a total of 12 times during the streak. He beat him twice on Nitro, twice on WCW Saturday Night, twice on Thunder, twice on WCW Worldwide, and 4 times at various house shows. Jerry Flynn just always eating shit against Goldberg. The man never could formulate a winning strategy.
That's actually really impressive for Goldberg, considering Jerry Flynn is a black belt.
Yeah. And you would think that his square head would make it difficult to put him in a front face lock.
Did have a square head.
Goldberg was able to do it. That was the other thing, was like people started to be like, hasn't Goldberg beaten this dude like a lot of times? Because he would wrestle a lot of the same guys. He beat Glacier like 4 or 5 times also, and every time it was just like, yeah, I don't care. He can just spear Glacier one more time. I'll watch that. But
Glacier always thought he had a chance, you know.
Yeah, that helmet didn't help him for anything.
Yeah.
All right, I think we're going to take a break from WCW for a little while, let the engines cool. Maybe we'll come back with a good WCW thing next time to remind us. But thank you for everybody who listens. We appreciate you. Leave us a comment, like Andrew said. Follow us on all the stuff. We appreciate you. And we'll be back again next week, because our streak will never end.
Just goes on and on, my friend.
3,000-0.